Wondering which of our favorite childhood snacks vanished overnight? Snacking addicts rejoice, your top 20 childhood favorites are making a triumphant comeback. Do you recall the famous rocket-shaped lollipops that had 3 distinct flavors in one? Yes, I am referring to Astrop Poops. These bad boys brought back fond memories of our childhoods, akin to a sugar-coated space adventure for the tongue. We're talking about a cherry on top, a grape fusion at the bottom, and an enigmatic citrus zone in between. These lollipops were a candy store mainstay and an absolute necessity for road trips. They were pure childhood fun, though they weren't exactly known for being sophisticated candies. The sole drawback? The unavoidable finger staining that made your hands look like a masterpiece created with tie-dye. Hey, I never did complain. Is there anyone among us who doesn't want a square of rich milk chocolate-covered peanut butter and oats? The ultimate snack of a peanut butter lover's dreams was PB Max. This nutritious snack was the ideal combination of peanut butter and oats, making it a powerhouse treat. To be honest though, the milk chocolate coating was the true attraction. PB Max was the ideal cross between the guilt-free option of a granola bar and the sweet indulgence of a candy bar. Thus, PB Max was the salvation if your parents disapproved of Reese's. These health claims, though, were a little bit of an exaggeration. It's a fact that anything dipped in chocolate is more of a treat than a nutritious food. Some of you younger folks may not know this, but bar none used to be the original combo bar. We're talking about a layer of crunchy cocoa wafers, a layer of creamy chocolate filling, and a sprinkle of peanuts on top. Consider it the slightly less well-known cousin of the Snickers bar. This bar, which Hershey introduced, had it all. Bar none entered our snack lineup in the late 1980s, but its heyday was fleeting. Sadly, it was canceled in the 1990s, but fans are still holding out hope for a resurgence. I'm sure you understand the excitement if you're among the select few who had the good fortune to taste it. You know where to go if you're ever in the mood for a bar none, because rumors have it that you can find it in some hidden stashes at Mexican candy stores. Do you recall those wonderful mornings when breakfast consisted of a bar covered in chocolate, packed with grains of questionable nutritional value and a healthy serving of sugar? Carnation breakfast bars were the ultimate cheat code. They were really just a candy bar disguised as something else, but at least they contain milk chocolate, right? What a marketing marvel these breakfast bars were. Back then, all people wanted was a breakfast bar that was convenient for kids to grab on the go, saving their parents the trouble of having to feed them a candy bar for breakfast. Admittedly, it wasn't nearly as healthful as its marketing suggested. The dubious grains probably didn't provide much nutrition, and the sugar content might make a child's energy swings extreme. That's most likely the reason they vanished into the horizon. Alright, this one truly merits a standing ovation for its audacity. A chocolate, peanut, and caramel round candy bearing the name of baseball great Reggie Jackson. What a brilliant move. Did it raise your batting average at all? Perhaps not, but it tasted excellent. The epitome of the influence of celebrity endorsement was Reggie Bars. Picture a massive milk chocolate peanut butter cup with a chewy caramel in the middle. With a Reggie bar, you essentially got that. All young athletes and aspiring athletes came to love this snack. Its deliciousness is undeniable, even though its ability to improve athletic performance is still debatable. Oh my goodness, I miss it. Dads, this snack mix was a classic party favor, a delightful, or terrifying depending on your palate, combination of rice and wheat squares, pretzels, and peanuts. It was similar to picking your own adventure when it came to your regular snacking delights. Furthermore, the name itself begged to be uttered in a humorous tone. You can say it. No one is watching. Dads had something to offer everyone, albeit in small amounts. The flavors and textures created by the sweet rice and wheat squares, the creamy peanut texture, and the salty crunch of the pretzels were all pleasing but unexpected. Dads had you covered whether you liked your bites sweet or salty. No judgment here, but it was the ideal snack to share or hoard for yourself. Dads would have been a hit if you enjoyed Chex Mix. They were essentially identical, but superior. Back in the 1960s, everyone started to crave food fit for astronauts. For all space enthusiasts, space food sticks made this dream come true. Does that sound familiar? These sticks, which were essentially glorified fruit leather with a sci-fi twist, were marketed as a dense source of nutrients for explorers or kids who refused to eat vegetables. The crucial query is, did they genuinely taste like space food? Who knows? I haven't yet traveled to space. However, they made for a stimulating lunchtime conversation. The whole space-age food craze began with space food sticks. Young space enthusiasts' dreams of experiencing the ocean of emptiness were catered to by their promises of a taste of the unknown. But the truth was probably less exciting. All it was a stick of pure fruit concentrated into a concentrated dose. Still, they did look pretty good in your lunchbox, didn't they? And it elevated pretend play to an entirely new plane. Peanut butter Boppers were the premier peanut butter snack in the past, so if you loved peanut butter, you would have loved them too. These crisp granola bars had a generous covering of peanut butter, which made them the perfect finger-licking, good snack. You know the saying, everything tastes better dipped in milk, so these were ideal for dipping in milk. It was also a hell of a party trick. Shouting the name in your best Al Pacino voice, peanut butter and granola, two of the greatest breakfast foods you can think of, came together in peanut butter Boppers, a portable and delicious snack. These were the ideal after-school treat or for on-the-go snacking. Unless you have a peanut butter allergy, who wouldn't want to indulge in some nutty goodness? The theme of Summit bars was deliciousness in layers upon layers. Imagine a generous portion of peanuts and crispy wafers covered in a decadent chocolate coating. It's the stuff dreams are made of. Although these bars were advertised as candy bars, the packaging identified them as cookie bars. It was like the more sophisticated cousin of a Snickers bar. Yes, it was a sophisticated take on the traditional candy bar, with a sweeter taste that catered to a wider palate. Although the Summit bar lacked the flashy marketing of some of its rivals, its flavor was evident. They made an effort to prevent it from becoming a relic from the past. Mars upgraded the bar to individual foil wrapping in 1983 and advertised a 30% increase in chocolate content. Although the new bar was longer and thinner than the old one, it was not as good and only got average reviews. Nothing was going to be able to stop the collapse of the Summit bar. It's just a sliver of our memories now. Marathon bar. This chocolate-covered, long-braided caramel bar was a marathon for your taste buds, not your stamina. You know, because it was so big, it was the kind of bar you tried to share with your friend. If you could finish it without getting chocolate all over your face, bonus points. For more than 70 years, the Marathon bar was a timeless classic. A chewy and satisfying texture was provided by its unique braided caramel center, and the rich chocolate coating provided the ideal amount of sweetness. The bar's fabled dimensions made it ideal for attempting a solitary chocolate conquest. Yes, that's when your normal Tuesday night chocolate cravings are at their peak. However, as they say, all good things must come to an end, and the Marathon bar was no exception. Simply put, Marathon candy bars are no longer produced. When was the day that Chex cereal wasn't reserved for monotonous mornings? Everyone's favorite square cereal was transformed into Almond Cluster Chex by adding a generous amount of chunky almonds to a sweet, sticky glaze. Who doesn't enjoy a good dessert? It was a far cry from the depressing, soggy bowl of milk most of us had to eat as kids. Basically, it was a party in a bowl. Almond Cluster Chex revolutionized the cereal industry for breakfast. They were made into the delicious treat of our dreams by the classic Chex squares. I was not able to ask for more. The almond chunks provided a delightful nutty crunch, and the sticky glaze added a hint of sugary sweetness. Although it tasted more like a dessert than a breakfast cereal, wasn't that what everyone wanted? Even if Almond Cluster Chex became extinct, I would still eat them every day. Keebler's Magic Middles evoked memories of a childhood magic show for your palate. At first glance, they appeared to be fairly normal, but you know the saying, never judge a book by its cover. There was a creamy filling, available in flavors like chocolate, peanut butter, and even cherry, concealed within a traditional shortbread cookie. Just reading the name of that cherry filling made me drool. Because each bite was genuinely surprising, the snack doubled as an entertaining guessing game. There was a Magic Middles flavor for everyone, whether they preferred the traditional chocolate or the daring cherry. Although these bad boys were removed from the snack aisle, their legacy will live on. As their name implies, Giggle Cookies used to be the source of all our joy. These sandwich cookies made a social statement in addition to being a tasty treat. Every cookie had a smiley face with a different expression, and the filling was available in 2 flavors, such as strawberry and cream or chocolate and vanilla. Before there were even emojis, they were like little edible emojis. A lighthearted and imaginative twist on the traditional sandwich cookie was Giggle's Cookies. Who wouldn't want a smile on their cookies before they embark on the gloomy journey through the digestive system? Additionally, in the past, sharing this cookie was the standard way to say pickup lines. There was a Giggles cookie smile to fit any mood, be it silly, mischievous, or happy. The Nestle Alpine white bars caused quite a stir in the snack world during the 1990s. Compared to regular milk chocolate, this white chocolate bar had a smooth, creamy texture, and the almonds gave it a delicious crunch. Before Hershey's cookies and cream found its way into your stash of hidden snacks, it may have been your first experience with white chocolate for some of you. It was like a more sophisticated candy bar, ideal for people who wanted to move on from milk chocolate's overly sweet taste to something that strikes the ideal harmony between sweetness and health. Granted, it might not have been the most daring confection available, but its delicate sweetness won over many fans. Because of its short shelf life, this one was taken off the shelf. Therefore, if you happen to come across one, don't eat it unless you want food poisoning, of course. Do you recall the days when Keebler t-shirts were the talk of the town? I can't think of anyone who wasn't enamored with these potato skin chips. They provided a savory substitute for the usual sweet treats. They were available in a range of flavors, including nacho cheese, barbecue, and sour cream and onion. Please tell us if this was your first exposure to the idea of potato skins as a snack. Don't be shy. The grown-ups were never afraid to pick up a bag or two of Keebler skins for themselves at the grocery store because they were a surprisingly sophisticated snack for a brand geared toward children. They eventually vanished, leaving us with only the taste of their delightful crunch in our memories. There will be a great loss for this one. Triple Threat Bar. With layers of nougat, caramel, and chocolate, this Mars bar was a real triple threat in the candy industry. The best combination of everything you could want in a bar was this one. It was like having an open invitation party in your mouth. For more than 8 decades, the Triple Threat Bar was a beloved candy bar. Chewy nougat, oozy caramel, and rich chocolate made for a delicious combination. They nearly tricked us into believing that the Triple Threat Bar would always be available for a snack. Unfortunately, this treat was short-lived, as it is now extremely rare and costs an arm and a leg. Although Mars has introduced a new line of low-calorie triple treat versions of their classic chocolate bars, Triple Threat bars are no longer available. Not even close to the original Triple Threat, sorry. There was a time when Bonkers fruit chews came with more than we expected. These juicy, chewy fruit candies had a delightful texture. The flavor selection was amazing, and the juicy center burst with fruity flavor while the outer layer offered a satisfying chew. Nabisco first introduced Bonkers in the 1980s, and they were widely advertised through catchy TV spots that showed people getting hilariously bonked on the head by enormous fruits. They were the ideal combination of sweet and tangy, available in flavors like strawberry, cherry, and grape. Your taste buds were always intrigued by Bonkers fruit chews. They were ideal for slowly releasing flavor or popping them one at a time into your mouth. There is never too many of them. Bonkers. Fruit chews are just more evidence that the family dog will eventually eat even the most delicious candies. Hostess Choco Bliss is now like a comforting embrace from the past. A chocolate lover's dream came true with this chocolate cake, complete with chocolate frosting and filling. This little treat was ideal for any special occasion or even a typical Tuesday. We do not pass judgment. When Choco Bliss debuted in early 1986, its layers of devil's food cake, chocolate creme, and icing made it an instant hit and bestseller by 1988. A rich and creamy chocolate filling was layered on top of the moist chocolate cake, and a thick layer of chocolate icing covered the entire work of art. With each bite, the dessert delivered pure, unadulterated chocolate bliss. A dessert that didn't play around. It wasn't the healthiest choice available, but it was difficult to resist because of how delicious the chocolate was. Perhaps it's time to dig out those old cookbooks and try to make this one again? Pringles Prints. These chips took the traditional can and gave it a playful twist by printing trivia questions and answers right on the chip. It was sort of like eating snacks and learning at the same time. A brilliant marketing strategy, Pringles Prints brought together the irresistible crunch of Pringles with some trivial entertainment. One side of each chip had the printed question, and the other side had the answer. These chips turned snack time into educational time, whether you were challenging your friends or testing your own knowledge. Surely this is the best 2-for-1 deal a parent could ask for? Even though the trivia wasn't particularly complex, it was an entertaining way to break up the monotony of eating chips on a regular basis. Additionally, it stopped you from eating too many potato chips at once because the guilt of not knowing the answers to these trivia questions kept you from overindulging in chips. Recall how Nestle Quick Bars, which promised to replicate the flavor of your preferred chocolate milk in a convenient bar form, first appeared on the market in the 1990s? They offered a nostalgic taste of childhood in every bite and came in a variety of flavors, including strawberry and classic chocolate. Isn't that what we all wanted? A tasty way to relive the bliss of your favorite chocolate milk in a solid form? That was Nestle Quick Bars. With so many different flavors available, the creamy chocolate base perfectly encapsulated the spirit of the traditional drink. These bars provided a comforting and nostalgic treat, regardless of whether you were the more daring type and stuck to the traditional chocolate or the more conventional one who went for the strawberry. Whether it's in the shape of a breakfast bar or not, I would give anything to have my favorite flavored milk back. Maybe then I won't have a reason to skip my morning glass of milk. You cannot claim that you do not also dread it. Nestle Quick Bars were the perfect snack for us then. Did any of these traditional munchies bring back any delectable memories? If so, please hit the subscribe button like this video and return soon for more nostalgia.